Hi everyone, we're Team MarketFlow. I'm Vivek Andre.
I'm James Lexley.
And I'm Sam Garcia.
I'm Sam Onukuman.
And we've built an educational tool for finance students to learn quantitative analysis as well as how to develop market makers in a market microstructure.
So jumping into things, MarketFlow is an educational software aimed for universities to help professors teach students about market microstructure and algorithmic trading. Currently in the market, there's no platform that allows professors to easily convey these topics and for students to be able to visualize them. Our platform not only teaches concepts such as market making, order books, and bid-ask spreads, but it allows students to deploy these concepts in real time in a simulated environment. Before each class, professors can go through, create environments with certain parameters, and then students will be able to join, place trades, and then develop their own market-making bots to deploy into the market. They have access to multiple parameters that they can tweak and find what exactly works for that specific market. And then they'll be able to visually see the changes that it creates in the overall market itself, thus creating a wholesome overall product that teaches all of these concepts in detail, but then also prepares students for what this will look like in the real workforce and in their future careers.
All right, and on to our demo. So when you go to our website, you're first greeted with a login page. Here, you can sign in with an email and password if you already have an account, or you can create an account if you don't have one. So once you log in, you're greeted with our homepage. Here, there's two different sections. There's the key term section, where you can learn different market concepts, and the trading simulator, where you can apply said concepts. So over in the key terms, we have several terms that you can look into, and when you click on them, you get a definition of what the term is and a brief detail about why it's useful to know this term. And once you feel that you've fully mastered all of the terms here, then you can use this information over in our trading simulator.
Once you select the trading simulator, you'll be asked to provide a username for the trading simulator. Once you do that, you have two options. You can either create a new environment or join an existing one. We're going to go over the creating a new environment section. So you click on this, you can find a few things about the environment you're creating. Some things like the name, description. You can also import settings from other environments that you've already created, in case you want to do that. Down below, there are a few other settings for the environment, things like starting cache, and whether or not you want it to be public or private, in case you want to have it password protected. And then there are a few other stock configuration options. Like you can add multiple stocks and configure them. And so once you've created the environment, or if you don't want to create an environment, you can join them here. So at the bottom here, there are public environments that you can join. Or if you want to join a private environment, you just click on this button and provide a password that's provided to you, and you can just join it from there.
And so now that we're in the trading simulator itself, you can see there's quite a lot going on the screen. So just to break it down a little bit, let's go into the AI chatbot and type in walkthrough. This will walk you through each of the components separately. So in the top hand, we'll have your current holdings, so that includes cash as well as how much you own of each stock. And then on the top right, you'll have market stats, including your PL ratio, what the current bid-ask spread is, and etc. Right below that, you'll have the leaderboard, which will show you how each student is doing within the trading simulator itself. In the middle right here, you have the live order book, which will show you bids and asks, and then the spread right in the middle, so you can monitor that as trading goes on. And then on the bottom left-hand side, you'll have our market making and retail investor bot section. So this is very unique to our application because this is what provides realistic simulation and teaches students about market making. So walking into that first part, you have the market making bots. Here we have 3 volatility levels, low, medium, high, which will provide liquidity into the market to drive movement and just have the basic components of a market maker. But then here you can add the custom mode. In the custom mode, students will have access to define each of their parameters and then create their own algorithms and deploy them into the market and see how they perform. This is really the application part of our program because it allows students to test in real time. And then right below that, we have our retail investor bots. So these are what will be taking that liquidity in the market as it's being provided. We've developed 3 different volatility levels, low, medium, high as usual. And we've also developed 4 custom personalities into the investor bots. So you have FOMO investors, contrarian investors, momentum investors, and passive investors. All 4 of these archetypes help create a realistic market simulation that closely mirrors what you would see on an actual stock market in and of itself.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going over the chat assistant. chat assistant has two modes, command mode and analysis mode. What command mode allows you to do is run a couple of simple functions. As you see when we type help, you can see that we're able to buy, sell, run our demos, as well as get our personal market information such as our stats, how many trades we've put in, and what exactly those trades were. The other mode is analysis mode. So analysis mode utilizes an LLM to help you get trading advice, help you predict the market, or just help you get simple definitions that might not be in the key terms section. So real quick, I'm going to go over an example in the chatbot. Okay, so as you can see with the output, there's a confidence level. This confidence level is based off of the order book's depth. If you don't have enough data in the order book, you don't see a lot of information to work with. Versus if you have a deep order book, you have a lot of information to work with, and therefore a higher confidence level, allowing us to trade more efficiently and more confidently with the chat assistant. Thank you.
So you'll notice that above the graph, it tells you what stock you're currently on, and you can use the small arrows to the right and left of it to switch between the stocks if there are multiple stocks in the given environment. Now the graph itself is a helpful way to visualize the price change over time for the current stock that you're looking at. And then above the graph, we have different tabs that you can go into. The history tab tells you the total history of the stock. It tells you what time there was a sale, how many units were sold, and the price that it was sold at. Next to it, we have the order book, and here it tells you all of your trades, both fulfilled and unfulfilled. And if you have an unfulfilled trade, you can cancel it here so that you don't have to buy or sell at that price anymore. The last tab is the graphing tab, and this is a bigger graph than the one that is above the order book, and it allows you to sort by time range. If you just want to look at the last 5 minutes or so of the stock, it allows you to do that. It also will show you all the stocks that are in the current environment that you can click the name above the graph and it'll turn them on and off. And yeah.
So over the course of this 16 weeks that we worked on this project, we had 92 issues on our issue board, 85 commits total, and over 15 feature branches. As far as our tech stack goes, we used TypeScript with the Angular framework for our front end. For our back end data handling, we used a Super-based database. And for our LLM model, we used Grok API with the GPT OSS model. As for why we used those, the Angular framework with TypeScript has a lot of good modularity, which would help with development. Super-based is pretty easy to use, it's free for students, and it does user authentication for you, so you don't have to worry about security or anything like that. We also use that GPT OSS model because it's a good reasoning model. It would help with giving advice and the confidence level feature that we added. As for our user studies for the project, we ended up doing one with the FinTech class. We had a few students from there test it out because this is an alternative to what they use now. And some advice that they gave us was they wanted some admin controls and some way to implement like market making and retail traders, just to add more quant complexity to the project.
All right, guys, so that wraps it up for MarketFlow, where we provide a suite of tools for students to learn about delving into the world of quant finance. We're excited to see where the project goes, and we're also excited to see where it takes the students using the platform. Thank you.